Hello again, YouTubers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm your host, the Board Game Captain, and today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play Potion Explosion. Now, Potion Explosion is a game that is themed around all of the players being students in sort of a school for witchcraft and wizardry. Sound familiar? And you're in potion class, and this is your final exam, and you're trying to mix together some impressive potions so that you can pass the class. And that's the theme of this game. It's pretty neat. Now, this game was designed by Lorenzo Silva, Andrea Crespi, and Stefano Castelli, and the art is by Giulia Gagini, I believe is how you pronounce that name. I'm going to show them all the names to you, though, in case I mispronounced any of them. And the game was published by Cool Mini or Not and Horrible Games. So, Potion Explosion is a game for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and is listed as being a 30 to 45 minute game. So let's start there. Now, for the 2 to 4 players, I find that this is a game that works best at 2 to 3 players. 4 players just feels like it's a little bit one too many. There's too much opportunity for a bit of the old analysis paralysis while playing this game. So at 2 to 3 players, it moves pretty quickly and is fine, but at 4 players, it's just too long to take to get around back to your own turn. So there you have it. I really like it at 2 and 3 players. The ages 14 and up, in my opinion, is a significant overestimate. I don't think this game is so complicated that it needs to be marked for ages 14 and up. And in point of fact, I think it's probably more like a 10 and up game. Not to say that it's a child's game. This is a very fun game, but the rules are not so super complex that it needs to be 14 and up. And as for the 30 to 45 minutes, that's a pretty good estimate for a 2 to 3 player game. At 4 players, it couldn't go over that, though. This is a mid-weight game when it comes to length. So let's open it up and we'll have a look at what's in the box. So, first thing you've got is a nice full-color rulebook. This is how I like my rule books, full of pictures and diagrams to help illustrate what they're trying to tell you. The rule book is very clear. It's exactly what you want in a rule book like this. It's very little in the way of ambiguities. This is definitely a good, well put together rule book. Now, next we have lots and lots of potions. As you can see, this is one of 2 stacks this big of potions, and all the potions are two-sided, because on one side, this is when you're working on your potion. It shows you what ingredients you need to make your potion, the blue ingredient, black ingredient, and yellow ingredient, for instance here. But when it's completed and you have a completed potion, this is the completed potion. And once a big part of this game is you got to make potions, and then once you complete them, you put them in front of you, and you can drink them for their effects to help you move quicker in making your additional potions during this game. So really cool mechanic, and these are the potions components. Now, the next big component I want to show you is, and this is rather important, this is your desk. So you can have 2 potions going on your 2 Bunsen burners at any given time, here and here. And you can also, in your beaker, you can keep up to 3 extra ingredients, as you can see the 3 holes there. When you have 2 potions, you can't take any more, but once you complete one, you take it off, you put it below your desk, and you can get a new potion to replace it. So everybody gets one of these at the beginning of the game, very important. The next set of components are these cardboard chits here. Now, you've got, these are 4-point chits, awards that you have here. And these are negative 2-point chits, teacher help here. You can actually ask for help from the professor to get some extra ingredients, but every time you do it, and you can do it any number of times you like, but every time you do it, it's worth negative 2 points. So if you do it too much, you're going to get a huge negative amount of points, so you have to be sure only to do it when it's worthwhile. Now, the point chits, you make a stack of these based on how many people are playing, and when it runs out, it triggers the final turn. So those are really cool. Now, the Next component I want to show you, and this is the coolest and most interesting component of this game, is the ingredient dispenser. Now, this comes in cardboard punch-out pieces, and you assemble it. It's one of the first things you got to do the first time you play this game, is you got to assemble the ingredient dispenser. Now, up here on top, this is on an angle, and when you're dumping the marbles, which are the ingredients, back in here, they roll down and go into these holes, and from these holes up here, they come out these holes here and make rows of potion ingredients. So let me show you the ingredients, which are marbles. And now, there's a name for each of these ingredients, but generally when you're playing, you're going to be like, oh, it's the blue ingredient, the red ingredient, the black ingredient, and the yellow ingredient. And that's usually what you go by. They do give them fun, characterful names, but it's never necessary to know them for the game. But just for your information, if you're curious, the ingredients are Unicorn Tears, Dragon Smoke, Ogre Mucus, and Fairy Dandruff are the ingredients, and they're written here in the rulebook. So, this game plays like a puzzle game, quite a bit like a puzzle video game made into a physical tabletop game, which is kind of interesting. On your turn, you will take an ingredient. You can do other things based on your special abilities and potions you have that you can drink and such, but the main thing you do on your turn is you take an ingredient from one of the rows in the ingredient dispenser. And when you do that, all the other ingredients, of course, they're marbles and they're on an angle. They roll down and they click together. Now, if you take an ingredient that causes marbles of the same color to click together, they explode. And that's the potion explosion right there. And their explosion means you get to take them as well. And if taking them as well causes more marbles, again of the same color, to click together, it chain reactions and it just keeps happening. And if you do this right, you can sometimes get a lot of marbles in one pull from the potion dispenser. It's a really neat mechanic. It feels a lot like some video game puzzle games, but done in a table game style. And I've never seen another game really capture that feel in a tabletop game. So that is pretty neat. So let's go to the table, and I'm going to show you how exactly this game plays. And then we're going to come back, I'm going to tell you how it feels, I'm going to review it and rate it, and we're going to get a second opinion from Len. Okay, so here we can see a game of Potion Explosion set up for 2 players. We have player 1 over here and player 2 over there. Now, the first thing you want to do is you go and you remove 2 of the 8 varieties of potions. You're only ever going to play with 6 of the varieties, but because they rotate which ones you use, it is going to make all the games feel differently, because different potions have different abilities. I just noticed that a few of these are the wrong side up. I'm just going to fix that there. Now, after you remove 2 of the 8 varieties of potions, you take out all of the potions of the varieties you have that have this little yellow star where my thumb is pointing there. That means they are starting potions. You take them out, you shuffle them up, you deal into the middle of the table 2 per each player, and then starting with the first player, and this is the first player token here, each player, going in a clockwise order, chooses 1. Once you get to the last player, they pick a second one, and then we go backwards in counterclockwise order until everybody has 2 potions on their Bunsen burners. Now, we've already done that. Then the next step is you take all the rest of the star potions and mix them in with all the rest of the normal potions, and you deal out 5 stacks of random potions with the ingredient sides up. The way to read these potion tiles here is you have the different color ingredients you need to make the potion, the symbol which represents the special ability of that potion, and over here, this is how many victory points the potion is worth if you have it completed. There are 2 main ways to get victory points in this game, either by completing potions or by getting these awards. Now, you get one of those awards if you ever complete 3 of the same kind of potion, or if you have 5 different kinds of potions in your completed area. When the award stack is empty, it triggers the final round, and you make sure, using the starting player token as reference, that everyone gets an equal number of turns before you count up points. And don't forget to take 2 points off for each one of the Professor's Help tokens that you have accumulated as well. So on your turn, the one thing you have to do is you have to take a ingredient from the ingredient pool. After that, just about everything else is optional. So you have to take an ingredient, but before or after taking an ingredient, you can drink a potion that you have already accumulated, or you can take Professor's Help before or after taking an ingredient. The Professor's Help works as you take one marble, one ingredient from the tracks here, but it does not cause an explosion, and it makes you get -2 victory points for using it. Now, an important note about how this works is that the only way to ever cause explosions is by taking an ingredient. So, player 1 is going to take this black marble ingredient here, because that will cause the blues to click and make an explosion. So, boom, and then the exploding marbles come off as well. So, player 1 needed those 3 blue ingredients, and has nearly completed one of their potions and started on another. So that was a pretty good turn for them. So now player 2 needs lots of yellow ingredients and could use some reds as well. So they're going to take this red out because they can make these click together, and they'll get 3 yellow ingredients as well. So they pop those, they get 1 red and 3 yellows. So at which point they can put those yellows and reds directly on some of their potions. And again, they're only 1 ingredient away from completing one of their potions. So back to player 1 now. Player 1 could use 1 black and some red and yellows. So they're going to take a look around and see what they can do to get either black and yellow or black and red. So having a look, there's not really a good answer for black and yellow. So what they're going to do is they're going to take this red here, which is going to get them these 3 blacks. So they trigger and they take them. They put the 1 red on. They put the 1 red on their potion here. They put the 1 black on this potion here, which is going to complete it. And they put 2 ingredients over here in their ingredients pool. You're allowed to hold on to up to 3 ingredients total that you can't use yet until the end of your turn. So the potion that is completed, these get dropped randomly back in the dispenser, like so. This potion gets flipped over and is now worth 4 points, as you can see there, as well as it being able to be used as its potion's ability, which that is a potion of magnetic attraction, which if I drink it, and the way you drink it is you take the potion and you turn it upside down to drink it. If you drink this potion, you get to take 2 adjacent ingredients of different colors from the same slide track. Of course, it does not trigger an explosion, but getting to cherry pick 2 ingredients is very useful to help you further get other potions completed. In fact, I could use this right now. So let me use it right now and show you how it works. So now I get the victory points whether I drink the potion or not. As long as I have it in my completed potions, I get the victory points for it. So I'm going to drink it. At which point I get to take 2 ingredients of adjacent different colors. I'm going to take this yellow and this red. And that allows me to complete my other potion. Look at that. So again, these go randomly back into, and if you have any sticking out, you push them into the next open slot. And I've completed 2 potions on my turn, 1 worth 4 victory points, 1 worth 3 victory points. So now I'm going to move on to the end phase. And during my end phase, first I check to see if I have any ingredients that I couldn't fit into my ingredient pool, which I don't. If I did, I would put them back into the dispenser as well. And then I get to select new potions from the stacks here to work on next. Now, you want to look at how much these potions are worth, and you also want to look at what ingredients you have waiting, even though you can't put them in the potion right away. But for instance, this potion here is by far worth the most amount. It's worth 10 victory points. So I'm going to take that one. It also needs a lot of black ingredients, and I already have 2 black ingredients waiting. Then I'm going to look, and there's a lot of 6s and there's a 9 ingredient there, and I'm working on all different potions, and I want to get 5 different potions to get an award, so I'm going to take this one, which is a different kind and worth a lot of points as well. So then I am finished, and it is player 2's turn to go. So player 2 needs 1 black to complete 1 potion, 2 other blacks to complete the second potion, and if they can get them as well, a yellow would be good. And look at that, there's a perfect draw right there. So they draw the yellow, which triggers an explosion of 3 black ingredients, which means 1 yellow in there, and 1, 2, 3 black ingredients. It's perfect. They actually complete both potions as well. So they're going to dump their ingredients that they used back in the dispenser, sliding them over to the next open slot if there's no room, and they get to collect 2 potions as well. So then they get to look around and take the 2 potions they would like. So they choose to take this one because it is worth 10 points, and that is a very valuable potion to try to work towards. And they're gonna try to also go towards having lots of different kinds of potions to get the award for that. So they're gonna take this one as well because it needs some different kinds of ingredients, and it'll help them work towards getting the 5 different kinds. So you keep playing this way back and forth or around the table, if you will, until the stack runs out. Now in a 2-player game, you only have to get 4 awards. And again, you get an award if you have at least 3 completed potions of any type, or if you have 5 different types of completed potions. So you collect your potions, you use them to get other potions, and once the stack runs out, you make sure everyone's had an equal number of turns and the game ends. And you add up your points from all the potions you've completed, plus all the awards you've gotten, minus any time you've used help from a professor, and that's your final score, and whoever has the highest score wins. Now let me show you a couple interesting things about this. One thing I want to note, and this is something that becomes a common tactic, you can actually draw a marble. You see these 4 black ingredients lined up. Now that's a lot of black. Let's say you needed a lot of black. You can draw one of these and let all the rest of the black click together, and that counts as an explosion. You would take all that. And sometimes also you can use a professor help to set up bigger explosions, which is something else that's really cool. So for instance, let's say you really needed black and yellow. You could use professor's help, take -2 points, take this blue, and now you have a blue, and then remove this black to cause the yellow to click together, which then you take and causes the blue to click together, which then you take as well. And because you got that -2 points, but look at how many ingredients you added up. So sometimes that -2 points can be worth quite a bit, because let's say I was getting these ingredients for player 1, that's a lot of ingredients that they needed. So that's it. That's how you play a game of Potion Explosion. So let's head back. I'm going to tell you about how it feels. I'm going to review it. I'm going to rate it. And we're going to get a second opinion from Lynn. Okay, so that was how you play a game of Potion Explosion. So now, Potion Explosion is a little bit weird. It's a little bit different. I don't really have any other game that plays quite like that for a tabletop game anyway. I mean, like I said before, it very closely feels, most closely like, in regard to other games, it most closely feels like some puzzle video games, which is kind of strange for a tabletop game. But it doesn't mean it's bad. It's cool. It's very interesting, and it's very different. This particular copy of Potion Explosion, I forgot to mention earlier, I got this as a holiday gift from Lynn. Lynn bought this for me for the most recent Christmas/Hanukkah holiday, and I liked it a lot. This game is tons of fun. I mean, you know what? It's got a Euro game feel to it. There's not a whole lot of attacking each other. There's some potions that allow you to do things to the other players, but most of the potions are just for helping you to get more ingredients. And, you know, so in that regard, it mostly uses the mechanics of, like, you know, set collection as well as pattern recognition, because you're looking for the patterns on the ingredient dispenser, and you're like, oh wow, there's something really cool there, or wow, if I could just remove that one marble, there'd be something really cool there. Maybe I'll take the professor's help and I'll remove that marble, because that's going to give me, you know, so many ingredients, and then I can fill up both my potions. And that's pretty awesome. That's really cool. It feels like a lot of fun. The only big downside I can say to it is that because of how you're looking for the patterns, this game, especially later in the game, can have a tendency to cause a bit of analysis paralysis. There's a lot of times, especially certain people who are prone to analysis paralysis may start looking at it and saying, okay, if I take this one yellow marble here, I'm going to get the yellow and the 2 red. But if I take that 1 red marble there, I'm going to get the red, 2 yellow, and 2 blue. But if I take that black marble there, but do I really need black? But then it'll give me 3 yellow and 2 red. And that's a lot. I could save the black for later. And you can see how that could become a problem. Which is why I say this game works better for 2 to 3 players. Because at 4 players, there's just far too many chances for analysis paralysis, where you're sitting around and, you know, one person gets analysis paralysis and you're waiting for them to finish their turn and you're like, and they finally finish and you're like, all right, it's moving. And the next person gets analysis paralysis too and you're like, oh. So that is my one downside. I wouldn't play this really with more than 3 people unless you specifically knew that the other people you were playing with were fast players that were not at all prone to analysis paralysis, all of them. But generally speaking, it's a 2 or 3 player game. I love it. It's tons of fun. At 2 or 3 players, it moves a lot quicker. Even if one person gets analysis paralysis, it's not bad at 2 or 3 players. And the feel of the game, the chain explosions, the collecting of ingredients, the getting to use the potions to do cool things, to help you get more ingredients, to complete more potions, it just feels like a lot of fun. Even though it's a half-hour to 45-minute game, it's one of those games that's so fun that when you finish the game, you're like, oh, that was only like 20 minutes, right? And then someone looks at the clock and like, no, it's been 45. And you're like, oh, okay. But it goes so quick while you're enjoying it that you don't realize it's been that long. And that's awesome. This is a great fun game. If you like pattern recognition games, if you like set collecting games, if you like games where you get to earn new abilities as you play because of how you earn the potions, and if you like puzzle games on the computer, then I'm recommending this game to you. This is a nice medium weight Euro style game, and it's, you know what, it's great. It's tons of fun. I really like it. This is definitely, of the gifts I got this holiday, this is one of them that we have played the most. This is showed up on the table a lot so far. So out of 10 stars, I am giving this 8 stars because I really like this game. I'll play it anytime somebody asks. Whenever I have people over that I know will like this game, I'll suggest this game. And I know I'm going to be playing this game many times in the future, and this is going to be part of my collection for many years to come. I'm not even sure if I'll ever part with it. So definitely 8 out of 10 stars. But let's get a second opinion. Lynn, how many stars out of 10 would you give to Potion Explosion?
8.
Ooh. So she's in total agreement with me. I didn't actually know that. So this is a 2 thumbs way up. We're both giving this 8 stars. So 1 thumb from me, 1 thumb from Lynn. 16 total stars between the 2 of us. There you have it. We can both recommend this game to you. If anything I said sounds like fun, buy Potion Explosion. Did you like this video? Do you want to see more like it? If you want to see me do more videos like this one, please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. Do you have any comments or questions either on the game Potion Explosion or on the video? Please post them down below. And until next time, game on.